Saturday, specifically on Saturday. The Chargers at 2.5 and the Ravens at 9.5. They'll probably both cover. The Steelers have Russell Wilson and no offense whatsoever. The fact that the Steelers are in the playoffs, I think, is a complete disgrace. Now, fair play to Mike Tomlin because he's been able to do a lot with nothing for a long time. But I know for a fact, I know a lot of them. I know for a fact Steeler fans are tired of hearing fair play to Mike Tomlin. He does a lot with the little. And on the Texans side, there's no offensive line. There's no offensive line for the Texans. I saw the Tennessee Titans, who won 3 games all season long, the first time around, win in Houston because they lost the line of scrimmage battle. I wonder what a team like the Chargers, who got a great defensive line, a great head coach, a disciplined team, are going to do. Colin, I could see this being a 34-14 fair for the Chargers. And that's not how the Chargers win. The Chargers win by, running the ball, draining that clock, not giving up points, and winning about 17-13, 21-13, 21-14. I can see this getting out of hand because I think Herbert has something to prove. I think Herbert is upset. I don't think he'll tell anybody this publicly, Colin, but I think Herbert is upset with being quote-unquote social media's quarterback. And he 3,800 yards, 23 touchdowns to 3 interceptions. That's a hell of a stat line for a team that's quote-unquote a running team and a defensive-centric team under Jim Harbaugh.
Well, the one thing about the Chargers that I give a lot of credit to is that receiving core has blossomed in a sense. Everybody was ready to write Quentin Johnson off after a terrible rookie season, drops, running wrong routes, not in shape. And now all of a sudden, he's playing terrific. That's the second-year guy at TCU, first-round pick. People thought it was a little bit of reach, but he's been playing great. And, of course, the rookie, Ladd McConkey, they got some talent. They don't have a ton of top-end talent, but they got enough to make him get by.
Let's give McConkey his flowers, too. Colin, I did not think his game would translate into the NFL. 82 catches, over 1,000 yards, and 7 touchdowns. He's a gamer.
Got Cup and Nakua written all over him.
He's a gamer. And the me as a Buckeye, I love the rebirth of J.K. Dobbins. I love to see him find a new home.
He's healthy finally.
Yeah, and there are so many other great stories, I feel like, under Harbaugh on that team this year. We're big on theme, magic, mojo, and juju on this show. The Chargers have a lot of it. The Texans don't.
Texans going against the number 1 scoring defense, sure, at home, still a domed environment. I don't see them being able to score to the likes of what the Chargers are going to be able to accomplish. The Chargers are going to control that line of scrimmage. They're going to control the time of possession. C.J. Stroud, they pass it. Houston gets on the field. They run it once. It doesn't go anywhere. Then they pass it 2 straight times. And then third and long. Ask C.J. to put on the cape and figure it all out. They've done that ever since Stephon Diggs went down in the middle of November. So since then, and they escaped against Jacksonville, Tennessee twice. They beat them in the last week of the season, but they had that terrible loss that Mike would brought up. They played the good teams in the NFL, and they basically couldn't even hold a candle to them. They played well enough in that first half against Kansas City. But this is not a team that consistently puts 4 quarters together. No. And I think they're going to be soul-searching come the offseason and trending downward, capitalize on a little bit of momentum. Harbaugh's got those guys drinking the Kool-Aid like you wouldn't believe. That is going to be a game. You're right. If there's a lopsided game of the bunch, I would favor on the side of the Chargers.
I think
it's on the road. It's on the road.
And they don't win like that.
That's on the road. But they're trending upward versus trending downward. I like that. Steelers-Ravens, I think this 9.5 line is quite a bit. 9.5 in favor of Baltimore. The Steelers play them well. Now, trending downward, I understand. They got talent on defense. Offense, there's a little bit more questions. But I think this playoffs, if you're thinking about storylines of the playoffs, there's calibers of where these quarterbacks and teams lie. Mahomes is in a league of his own. Then you have the handful of guys that are trying to get into that category. And that is the guys like Josh Allen, the guys like Lamar Jackson, who have regular season success, have been to the postseason a number of times. Jalen Hurts is probably someone like that as well. Been to the postseason a number of times, looking to go to the next level. Then you have the guys that are sort of middle of the pack. Good in postseason, not a lot of experience in the postseason, ups and downs. I'm going to include Stafford because Stafford has a proven postseason commodity. But then you have the Baker Mayfields of the world and the Justin Herberts of the world. And
they're hungry.
Yeah, they're hungry. They're dangerous. That's what they are. They're dangerous.
Dangerous and hungry.
Now, are they in a position to go all the way? No. But they're a threat and they're going to be circled on that scouting report because they can beat you. That's where they kind of lie. And then you have the rookies, where rookies usually struggle on the road in the postseason. They have a lot to be asked of them. That's Bo Nix and Jaden Daniels on the road in that postseason. Jordan Love, I have no idea where to put him. Seeing the highs, seeing the lows.
You know what?
And he is dangerous, maybe?
No, I know where to put him. I know where. Colin, he's not a threat this year. He's not a threat. And I told you in the pre-show meeting, I was sold on Green Bay this time last year. Right now.
So you were sold the first time around when they had no postseason experience.
The reason why they were the hot team, and I'm going to get to who I think is another hot team in a second, but Green Bay had to win 5 out of their last 6 games after losing that Monday Night Football game late in the, or rather in the middle of the season last year. I forget who Green Bay played, but they lost on Monday night and they looked horrible. New
York Giants.
And everyone goes, they're going to have a top 5 pick this year. What do LaFleur and Jordan Love do? They rattle off 5-6 wins in a row, and they head into the playoffs as the hot team. They are not the hot team this year. Jordan Love has had countless games this year where he hasn't even thrown 200 yards and has not looked the part. Now, similar to what we say about Drew Aller and Justin Herbert earlier in the show, he doesn't commit the mistake. He doesn't make a lot of turnovers. I think there's something to be said about that. I don't think he's going to lose you the game, but Jordan Love is not winning you the game either.
Packers are a little bit like Penn State. They beat up on the little guy. They're very good at beating up on the little guy, at least this Packer team. They love playing the team that they're a favorite against. They love playing the team that they have a talent advantage against. They love beating up on those teams, and they'll do what they have to do in that sense. But the second they play somebody in their weight class or slightly above their weight class, they're going to have to punch a little higher than what they're expected of them. That is where they struggle a little bit.
Yep. And Kyle, the 4 games I am incredibly high on that we talked about yesterday. We're obviously high on the Chargers winning and covering. I'm high on the Ravens winning and covering. More on that in a second. We took the Eagles at 5. Obviously, we love the Eagles against the struggling Packers. And then I'm big on the Buccaneers 3 at home.
Do you have any underdogs winning?
I covering.
You're going to go 6-0 cover?
Covering.
You're going to go 6-0 cover.
Those are my plays.
Square.
Take it for what it is. Those are my plays.
Chalk. Wow.
I really like the favorites. I don't see. If you want to parlay something, I would parlay every single favorite that's not named Minnesota. I would probably go with the Rams.
Let's check the stats on that one.
Colin, honest to God, partner, my can't lose parlay this weekend would be every single favorite other than the Rams. I would have the Rams winning. That's my parlay.
You got to end that with You're not compulsed to take my advice. I'm not an expert. I'm just a fan.
People know this. They listen to me. They know I'm a blithering idiot when it comes to sports gambling. I don't think I need to say that. But those would be the games I'm most confident in: the Buccaneers, the Ravens, and the Chargers and the Eagles to cover. Those are the 4.
The games I'm most confident in, and he just names every single game in the first round of the postseason.
No, I didn't say the Bills. Okay. I didn't say the Bills in my defense. I didn't say that Ram game.
So the one you have confidence in is the rookie quarterback in Buffalo on the road. That's the one you have confidence in?
9's a lot.
Right? 9's a lot?
9's a lot.
8.5.
9's a lot. And the Broncos, and the reason I would stay away from the Broncos, Colin, I feel like every time we've touched Denver in
I'm not saying we should take him against the spread.
No. But I'm saying the reason I wouldn't do that is because we've been dead wrong every time we've tried to bet on Denver or against Denver. So I would stay away. But I like the favorites. There's no secret. And the Ravens, I think they're probably the freest money out of everybody. The Steelers are terrible.
It's Steelers team that owns in a lot of ways.
And the Ravens and C-Cat, you could tell this better than I can. The Ravens, 35 points, 31 points, 34 points, 35 points.
You want to talk about a team that plays them well. Hold on. Other teams. Well, this is not the Steelers. The Steelers play them well.
3 weeks ago, they won 34-17.
Okay, well, the Steelers won 8. Before that, it was 8 of the last 9, Mike. It was 8 of the last 9.
But we're recency biased. The recency bias.
We are not. You are.
I am recency biased. And Pittsburgh has lost 4 games in a row going into this postseason. One of them being to the Ravens 34-17. This game is not going to be close.
So all the favorites are going to win. Mike said this would probably be the first time ever. Let's
parlay the favorites.
That all the favorites are going to go.
Hang on here. Don't listen to me. I'm a blithering idiot. But parlay the favorites. Every favorite besides Monday Night Football. You take the Rams to win straight up.
The team that I think can make some noise is actually